and Maven project. The main difference between Java project and then taking with Maven project. As simple as Java project, we have to take care about jar files here. Maven project, Maven itself, it will take care about jar files here. Okay. Now, consider that Maven project. So what is the use of the Maven project? Maven itself taking care about jar files. Maven itself taking care about jar files. That means the meaning of that statement. The meaning of that statement is Maven itself automatically downloading. Maven itself automatically downloading all the required jar files. Okay. But consider jar files. Are we working with only one type of the jar files? If we take jar files, is that we are working with only one type of jar files? Selenium jar files, totally different. And then TestNG is totally different. Log4j is totally different. Considering Excel, that jar file is totally different. Not like connected. Every jar file is an individual jar file. When you are downloading Selenium jar file, if you download Selenium jar file, along with the Selenium jar file, is that you are getting TestNG jar file? If you download Selenium jar files, along with the Selenium jar files, is that you are getting TestNG jar file? Yes or no? No. Or else, if you are downloading TestNG jar file, along with the TestNG jar file, are we getting the Selenium jar file? No. Everything is individual jar file. Individually, you need to download each and every jar file. Now, consider with the Maven. What is the use of the Maven? What is the use of the Maven project or Maven? Maven itself taking care about jar files. Maven itself taking care about jar files. Considering that Maven is downloading all the required jar files. When it is downloading, how Maven is understanding. Maven, how it is understanding what type of jar files need to be downloaded. Is that only Selenium jar file or only TestNG jar file or both the jar file? How Maven is understanding, how Maven is understanding what type of jar files need to be downloaded. In case of taking with the Maven project, how Maven is understanding what type of jar files need to be downloaded. Let's see that. Let's look into that. For that, you are creating Maven project. How to create? We look into the step. Once you create this particular Maven project, once you create this particular Maven project, as part of project creation, as part of project creation, you are creating Maven project. As part of the project creation, you will be having one particular XML file. What is that XML file? pom.xml, pom.xml. When you are creating Maven project, as part of project creation, itself, it will create one XML file considering that pom.xml, we are not creating as part of project creation itself. By default, you will get that particular XML file here. Okay. Now you can see what is XML file you will get? POM.xml. So meaning of this POM? Meaning of this POM? That page object model is with the respective of framework. Page object model is with the respective of framework. This POM, nowhere of connectivity of that. Project, the meaning of POM, project object model. The meaning of this POM, the meaning of this POM, considering that project object model. Okay. Now, in this XML, you will be providing jar file details. That means according to the project requirement, what kind of jar files need to be downloaded. According to the project requirement, what kind of jar files need to be downloaded. You need to be provide that information. Considering that taking with Selenium, you need to provide Selenium details. By that, Maven will understand, okay, I need to download Selenium jar files. In the pom.xml, you need to be get provide. In the pom.xml, you need to be get provide this particular Selenium jar file details. Once you provide that particular details, this particular Maven is understanding, okay, I need to download Selenium jar files here. Assume that you want to be work with testng also, then you need to be get provide testng jar file details. So as simple as based on your project requirement, whatever jar files has been required according to your project requirement, whatever the jar files has been required, you need to be get provide that particular jar file details here. Okay. So that you need to be get consider. As simple as you're taking with Eclipse. What is the use of Eclipse? Writing the programs and executing with program. As simple, we are taking care about doing the programming. While doing the programming under Eclipse, what need to be created? Project. While creating the project, what are the options we got? Java project, Maven project, Gradle project. Which project need to use it? It's totally depends on that particular project, or it will depends on the client. Because of working with the different project, your programming is not making any difference. Considering that Java project, Maven project, what your Selenium program or taking with the Java program, all that particular syntaxes will be the same. The only difference is in case of Java project, user has to, in case of Java project, user has to take care about jar file. In case of Maven project, Maven has to be take care about jar files. The meaning is Maven itself automatically downloading all the required jar files. But how It is understanding what are the jar files need to be downloaded. For that, it is taking care about in referring with POM, pom.xml. By referring pom.xml, by referring pom.xml, it has been taken care about. By referring pom.xml, it is taking care about in understanding what are all that particular jar files need to be downloaded. Apart from that, in case of developer perspective, developers has been taking care about the concept of Maven build life cycle. Developers are taking care about Maven build life cycle. What is it? Maven build a life cycle with the respective of development perspective. So we are not worried about all those particular concepts. Just need to be get understand that what exactly make the difference between Maven project and then Java project. In case of Selenium, how we can do with the programming for both the things, that is what need to be get understand. Okay, now let's see that how exactly we can follow the steps while working with Maven project. Previously we got with the steps in creating with Java project. Similar to that, we need to take with Maven project. Okay, let's see that how exactly we can do it. Further, you will be taking with Eclipse. That particular concept will be the same. Now, you can see with the steps here. You can just take care about what exactly that particular steps need to be followed. Taking with file, taking with file, from the file, you will be taking with new. From the new, what is option? Project. Taking with file. From the file, you will be taking with new. From the new, you will be taking with project. Okay. Once you are taking with that particular project, once you are taking with that particular project, now you can see here, you will get different type of options. What is the one option we got? Java. Another one, Maven. Another one, Gradle. We can go with Java project, Maven project, Gradle project. What kind of project depends on the requirement? What kind of the project? It will depends on the requirement. Based on project requirement and based on the client requirement. Based on the project requirement and based on the client requirement, need to be get understand what are all that particular project need to use it. So for now, I'm taking with Maven. Okay, let's see that. Under Maven, what is option? What is option? Maven project. Under Maven, we are taking with the option considering that Maven project, which you will be taking with Maven. Under that, you will be taking with Maven project. Taking with next, taking with next. Now, in this particular window, we need to make sure that in this particular window, we need to make sure that clicking on checkbox of create a simple project. We need to be get click on checkbox. We need to be get click on checkbox saying that create a simple project. That is what need to be get created. Okay. Now taking with next button, which will be taking with next button. After that, in this particular window, taking with, considering with group ID and artifact ID. In this particular window, group ID and artifact ID, considering that mandatory fields. Considering that mandatory fields. What are the mandatory fields? What are the mandatory fields? Group ID and artifact ID. So in this particular window, group ID, artifact ID, considering the mandatory fields here. Okay. Now let me provide this group ID, as simple as the project name you are automating. This group ID as simple as the project name you are automating. So which project we are automating? What is our project? What is it? Which will be taking with this particular HRMS. We are automating with the project of HRMS project. So what exactly the project you are automating? What exactly the project you are automating? You need to provide that particular respective project name. Okay. Provided that particular respective project name, and then taking with artifact ID. This particular artifact ID, the name need to be displayed. The name need to be displayed in Eclipse. In Eclipse, you are creating the project. It's required one project name. Whatever the project name you required, you need to provide that particular project name. So as simple as in this window, what are the mandatory fields we got? Group ID and artifact ID. Meaning of group ID? Meaning of that project name to be automated. So what kind of project you are automating? You need to be get provide that particular name. Then you will be taking with artifact ID. Meaning of artifact ID? Name to be displayed in Eclipse. Name to be displayed in Eclipse. That will be taking with artifact ID. Okay. So the one we got group ID and then taking with artifact ID and then click on finish. You need to be get take care about. Click on finish. You will be able to see that that particular project has been creating. Very simple steps will be followed. First, you will be taking with file. From the file, you will be taking with new. From the new, what is option? Project. Okay. From the project, what is option? Maven. From the Maven, what is option? Maven project. Taking with next, which you will be taking with next. Need to be get take care about and clicking on create a simple project. Need to be get take care about in creating with a simple project. Okay. So then you will be taking with this particular next button. That particular next button taking with group ID and then taking with artifact ID. So which will be taking with group ID and then taking with artifact ID. The meaning of group ID? Project name to be automated. Meaning of artifact ID? The project name to be displayed in Eclipse here. So need to be get provide these two things. These two things are considering the mandatory fields here. Then you need to get click on finish button. Okay. So now we can see here we got created with Maven project. If I expand it, you will get one XML. What is XML we got? What is XML we got? POM.xml. Did we created that XML? Are we created that XML? No. What we created? Project. We created Maven project. Once you are creating with the Maven project, as part of project creation itself, as part of the project creation itself, you are getting the XML. What is XML you are getting? What is XML you are getting? POM.xml. Let's see here. If I just open POM.xml, lot of tabs will be there. Overview, dependency hierarchy, effective POM, POM.xml. Lot of things will be there, but you are not worried about all the tabs here. You have to take care about. You have to take care about in doing pom.xml. Now in this pom.xml, what you have to provide? Pom.xml, what you have to provide? Aim provide cheyali. Jar file details. You need to be get provide. You need to be get provide jar file details. In this pom.xml, you need to be get provide the jar file details here. Okay. Now, considering that particular jar file details, how exactly we can provide it? We need to be get followed certain syntax here. We have to inform to Maven further. We need to be follow the syntax. That particular syntax, we are using the terminology saying that dependencies, Maven dependencies. What is it? Maven dependencies. While working this particular one, taking with, while working this particular one, we are using with the terminology. What is the terminology? Maven dependencies. Rather than saying the jar file, while working the Maven project, we used to be get saying that Maven dependencies. Okay. Now, if we look into this project, we got only JRE system library. By default, Java related jar files will be provided. By default, Java related jar files will be provided. But what is the jar files we required? What is the jar files we required? Selenium. So how we can inform to Maven project to download Selenium jar file? For that, in the Maven project, you are adding one tag name. You are taking with one particular tag name, which you will be taking with one tag name. What is the tag name we got? What is the tag name we got? What is the tag name? Dependencies. Under that, you will be taking with one more tag name. This is you are considering the opening tag, and this is you will considering the closing tag. We got utilizing one particular tag name. What is the tag name we got? Dependencies. Under that, we need to provide Selenium jar file dependencies. Under that, we need to provide Selenium jar file dependency details. Let's see that how we can provide. So further, to get this particular Selenium dependencies, just you can go to this particular Selenium website. You need to be get refer. You need to be get refer Selenium website. You need to be get refer the Selenium website, and then you will go with the option. What is the option? Downloads. Right. Now, you can utilize the option of downloads. Let's come down. Now, you can see here, you will be able to see with the information. What you got? What you got? Maven information. Under that, what is the option you got? MVN repository. MVN repository. Considering that Maven repository, all the information related to the jar files, it will maintain. So just you are taking with our Selenium website download option using with Maven. So here what is the option we got? Maven repository. So this particular Maven repository, just click on that. Once you click on that, we require Selenium with Java. Just open that. Once you got open that, you will get all the required versions. Now you can easily understand when all the versions we got. So 4.8, 4.7, previously for this alpha, beta, and after that 3, and before that 2. So all the versions will get. So considering that, taking with this particular 4.8.0, based on your comfortable, you can utilize any of the version. So here you will be taking with that particular dependency syntax. You will be taking with that particular dependency syntax here. So which I got taking care about, in providing that particular respective dependency syntax. So just we are taking it and we need to provide. Very well provide. POM.xml. Now we can see here. We are already using the tag name. What is the tag name? Dependencies. It's mandatory that you have to add this tag name. Under that, you are taking with the tag name. Under that, you are taking the tag name. What is the tag name? Dependency. Under that, you will be taking with the tag name dependency. Okay. So which you will be taking with this particular one. Now we provided Selenium dependencies. Okay. Look into the Maven project. Is there any Selenium jar files? We provided dependency, but any Selenium jar files we got? No. You need to save XML file. You need to save. Once you provided dependency, you need to save that XML. Just you can go with Control S. Then you will be able to see downloading. Now we can see here it has been taking care about downloading all the required Selenium jar files. So considering that as simple as, what is the use of the Maven project? What is the use of the Maven? Maven itself taking care about jar files. The meaning of that statement? Maven itself automatically downloading all the required jar files. So to download, what need to be done? We need to provide dependency details. Where we have to provide? Where we have to provide? Taking with pom.xml. Now we can see got one more option. Previously, JR system library. Now you got one more option. What is option you got? Maven dependencies. You got one more option. You got one more option that will be taking with Maven dependencies. That will be taking with 4.8.0. That will be taking with the 4.8.0. Okay. Now you can see here. Considering that taking with 4.8. For example, I want to work with some other version. For example, I want to go with 7. Just you are modifying the details in pom.xml. You are modifying with the details in pom.xml. Then automatically it will take care about the required jar files. Now, in pom.xml, what is the version we provided? 4.7.0. Here, what is the version you got? 4.8. Let me just save. Once I done with the save, automatically all the jar files will be replaced with 4.7. So we doesn't require to delete it, add it and doing all the things. Everything taking care by Maven only. Maven itself taking care about that jar files here. Now we can see what is the version you got. What is the version you got? 4.7. We are not deleted. We are not downloading. Providing the details in pom.xml. According to that, it has been continued. Okay. Now let's see that. If I look into these jar files, is there any jar file of testng here? Is there any jar file of testng? Now assume that I require testng jar file. I require testng jar file. So what need to be done? What need to be done? If I require testng jar file, what I need to done here? As simple. Again, what you will do? You need to provide. What you have to provide? Testng jar file dependency. As simple as we need to provide dependency. In this particular Maven project, we got Selenium dependency. So this is Selenium dependency. Open bracket, closing bracket. Under that, we need to be get provide testng dependency, which will be taking with testng website, which will be taking with testng website. Once you provide the testng website using the option, what is the option? Documentation, which will be taking with documentation. Okay, not documentation. Maven. What is option you got? Maven, which you will click on Maven. Once you got click on Maven, this particular Maven, you got an option taking with pom.xml, taking with pom.xml, which will be taking with this particular dependency, which will be taking with this particular dependency, that will be taking with considering that this one, you will be providing which will be providing that particular dependency. You need to be you need to be provide that particular respective dependency. Okay. So that you will be providing it. Now you will be taking with save, which need to be save that you will be getting with testng jar file. So what is the version you got? 7.6. So what is the version we provided? 7.6. So this is what you will be taking care about in working with Maven project. As simple as according to your project requirement, whatever jar files has been required, whatever jar files has been required, you need to be provide the respective jar files here. I mean, dependencies need to be provided based on that particular dependencies. Maven will take care about downloading the required jar files here. Once he got jar files, doing with the programming same concept. Once he got jar files, doing the programming same concept, just will be taking with project is created. First you are taking Eclipse. Under Eclipse, what need to be created? Project. Under project, what need to be created? What need to be created? Project need to be created. What kind of project depends on the requirement. So what are the projects we got? Java project, Maven project, Gradle project. Under project, what need to be created? Under project, what we will create? Package. Under package, what we will create? Class. All that steps will be the same. Now we can see we created Maven project. Under project, creating with package, which you will be creating with package based on your comfortable. You can provide any of the package name. Once package created, under package need to be creating with the respective class, need to be creating with that particular respective class here. So need to be take care about in creating that particular respective class here. Okay. So now I can say that. So we got an option. Which will be taking with considering that taking with this particular TC, you will be creating the respective test case. After that, doing with the programming, followed same step. As usual, if required report, you can go with testng, that you can go with annotations. Otherwise, just you can continue with the main method based on your comfortable. Now you can see how we are doing with the programming. All the programming steps will be the same. You need to be take care about doing with test step. You need to be take care about doing with test steps here. Okay, that particular test step, writing with the same. First step, launching the browser. What is the code you will write? Launching the browser. What is the code you will write? System dot set property, which you will be taking with system dot set property. Then you will be taking with WebDriver dot gecko dot driver. Okay. After that, what need to provide it? Path. Which path need to provide it? Which path need to provide it? Driver path. We need to be get provide. We need to be get provide path of the driver. We need to be get provide path of the driver. Need to be get provided. Need to be get provided that particular file name considering the gecko driver dot exe. We need to be get provide that particular file name driver dot exe. After that, we need to write WebDriver driver equal to taking with new Firefox driver. Okay, giving an error. Why it is giving an error? Import package. All the concepts are same. All the steps will be the same. You need to be get import. You need to be get import that particular respective packages. You need to be get import that particular respective packages. Okay. After that, need to enter URL. To enter URL, what is the method name? What is the method name? Navigate.to. So one you can take with navigate.to or you can go with get method. So based on your comfortable, you can go with navigate.to or you will be taking with get method. So what exactly the application URL is there? You need to be get provide the application URL. Assume that for the confirmation, you want to print with the title. To print the title, what is the method name? To print the title, what is the method name? What is it? Get title. Okay. So that will be taking with driver dot method name get title, which will be taking with get title. Okay. After that, need to be get enter username. To enter username, as usual, driver dot find element by dot taking with name, which need to be get provided that particular name. What is the name we got? txt username dot taking with send case of we need to be get provide. We need to be provide Naresh IT. After that, driver dot find element by dot taking with name. What we have to provide? txt password taking dot considering the send case here. Okay. After that, which need to be get provide that particular password. So we need to be get provide that particular username providing the password. They need to be get click on button. To click on button, what is the statement? Driver dot find element by dot taking with name. What is the name of that? Which will be taking with submit dot taking with click activity, which will be taking with click activity. As usual, if you want to wait, you will be taking with some time. That you will be taking with thread dot sleep here. So all the steps will be followed. All the steps will be followed in the same way. And finally, need to be get take with logout. That will be taking with driver dot find element taking with link text and need to be get taking with logout dot it will be taking with click activity. For the confirmation, printing with the statement logout completed. At last, need to close browser. To close browser, that was the method name. What is the method name? Driver dot close or taking with driver dot quit. So based on your comfortable, you can utilize any of the method. Okay. So now we can see here, we are importing all that particular required packages and written the respective program and taking with run as Java application. So that execution will be the same, doing with the programming will be the same. So previously we got created with Java project. Now in a place of Java project, we are creating with Maven project. So that it will go with login and then taking with logout and close the application. So this is what we got an a possibility. This is what we got an option in taking care about working with Maven project. So whatever the syntax need to be followed, all the steps will be the same. When you're working in the real time, which project need to be followed, it's totally depends on that particular project or depends on that client. So doing with the programming, all the concepts will be the same. The only difference is in case of Java project, we have to take care about jar files. In case of Maven project, Maven will be taking care about the required jar files. So that is what will be taking with the major difference between Java project and then taking with Maven project. Okay. Now, similar to this, we need to be get understand about another new concept. What is it? Which will be taking with cucumber. So take with the new heading mentioning that cucumber hyphen BDD framework. Take with the new heading. Online students also write with the new heading mention that cucumber hyphen BDD framework. Cucumber hyphen BDD framework. Okay, right. So all the steps what I'm discussing it, everything it has been provided in this particular PDF file. So all that particular steps it has been done. When you guys are practicing, this particular Maven project, in case of any error as part of project creation, in case of any error as part of project creation, then you can try with taking the right click. Once you've done with the right click, you will be taking with, once you've done with this particular option, that you will be taking with Maven. What is option? Update project. While creating the Maven project, or once you create your Maven project, if it is giving error, in case of giving the error, you can use the solution. Right click on the project. Once you done with the right click on project, you will be using with option is Maven. From there, using the option is update project. Once you click on update project, select with the project you want to update it, and you have to make sure click on the checkbox taking with force update. You need to click on the checkbox is force update, then click on OK button. Maximum it will resolve with the issue. When you are practicing with the Maven project, in case of Maven project has been giving any error, just you can take with right click on Maven project, taking with the Maven and then taking with update project. So that is what you will be taking with considering this particular Maven project here. Okay. So this is what we got in a possibility in taking care about. Just see that in performing that step, maximum issue will get resolved. So that take care about all the steps related to that particular Maven project. So now take with the new heading, take with the new heading, Cucumber hyphen BDD framework, and then make a note of this particular description up to the highlighted one, up to that highlighted one. You can make a note of this particular description up to the highlighted one. Online students also, online students also make a note of that particular description. Just make a note of up to highlighted one. Just make a note of up to that highlighted one. Okay, right. So in the same PDF file, you will be able to see the installation related to this cucumber here. Just try on it, same as TestNG. How you done with the TestNG installation, in a similar way you need to install it. Just try on it. Anyway, I'll give the steps also, but just for tomorrow session, you can try with the installation. So tomorrow we'll go with this particular cucumber part, how exactly it is working with the cucumber, and after that we'll be taking with other concepts here. So a lot of concepts are there, all the small concepts step by step need to be get understand. So everything will take care of it. So please take care about all the practice. So please take care about all the practice for tomorrow. Try for this installation. Okay. Please take care about the practice. Carry on. Thank you. All right, guys. Online students, if you have any questions, you can carry on.
Hello, sir. Just I want to clarify
Yeah.
in the starting class, what you clear before 10 minutes. Actually, I joined 7:40. Okay. Where which time you are explaining?
The
The
same 7. Yes, nearby only. Yeah. We started with Maven only, that part only. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right, guys. So please take care about the things. Selenium exam will be there on next Sunday. On next Sunday, we'll have a Selenium exam.
Sir,
Yep.
we discussed now in Maven project, right?
Correct.
In that, again we need to uh, import that log4j that jar file.
Obviously, right? Whatever the futures, if you want to implement it, obviously how to import it. The only
Oh,
difference is just you are, rather than adding the jar files, you are providing the dependencies. That is only the difference. Remaining
oh,
all the steps will be the same.
okay,
Okay.
okay, okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Right. Yeah.
hello. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sunday means 12 now. What time?
Yes. The exam will be on 12, same 10 to 11.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Okay. Right. Yes. Carry on.
Sir,